What's the one drug you've tried and will never touch again? Why? Ice. I had my own place, paid my own bills, with my own money, and had money out back. Had a vehicle. And as soon as I started ice, all that went away. No cap. To the point that I was walking and homeless, no money and my family was gone. Clean and been clean for 3 years and 5 months and 3 days today. And got it all back in wisdom. That won't happen again. Say it with me everyone. CC cocaine. Because I prefer to have money and not need money, rather than to need money and not have money. Molly. I was so fucking depressed once I came down from it. I felt like I needed more to feel happy again. That's when I knew that I could never do it again. Heroin. I did it once to see what it felt like, and I wouldn't touch it again because it made me sick to the point of puking and passing out. X makes me uneasy and you never know exactly what's in them. Also the after effects: depression, grumpiness, oxycodone after a surgery, not recreationally. Made me so dizzy even though I was sitting still. My partner made me some toast and I almost projectile vomited on the plate at the first whiff. I was day 1 post-surgery but decided I would rather be in pain and take paracetamol only rather than the horrendous dizziness, nausea and vomiting. Percocet for a major broken skull and a concussion. The pain of having my skull heal and fuse back together was more endurable than the way perks made me feel. Only took 2 of them and flushed the rest down the toilet. GHB, don't know if it has the same name in English. I had moments when the lights just went out in my head and you didn't even notice that at the time. Only to discover it was 15 minutes later on the clock, but can't recall what happened in that 15 minutes. Smoking. Felt decent, but after I had one look on the filter, I almost puked in disgust. Weed is fine though. Peyote. I've done copious amounts of psychedelics of all kinds. But those little buttons exposed my soul. I don't regret it, but all I needed was one trip and I'm good. Lol. I don't have a lot of experience with drugs, but I can tell you that I won't do weed again. I tried it a few times 30 years ago and wasn't a huge fan. But now it's so powerful I really don't like it. Last time I smoked it made me commit. It's become too much for me. DOI was fun for 5 hours. The remaining 40 hours was like living in a trip that would seemingly never end. I was really starting to lose my shit. LSD. I didn't take it deliberately. My drink was spiked with it and God was I ill. Hallucinations for 24 hours and ended up in hospital. I basically ran through the list of drugs throughout my life with the exception of heroin and fentanyl, but one drug that I'll never do again is meth. And because it's ruined the lives of a lot of the people that I know, it also played a part in ruining my relationship with my girlfriend, her meth use, not mine, and it's no wonder why they call it the devil's drug. Cocaine. Face felt numb and nose wouldn't stop running. My friend tried to do a line off my thigh and then refused to leave when I asked him. So I ignored him and speed typed like 3 pages of my senior thesis paper. Did not enjoy Vicodin. I had a RX for it after my wisdom teeth were extracted and it made Mr. feel really weird and off. Very uncomfortable and not like myself. So I stopped after a few doses and just took ibuprofen. Ecstasy. Pill form, a whole pill. I've tried other forms, it's okay, but just swallowing a whole pill made me feel like I was gonna die. A mixture of heroin and opium. I had never used drugs in my life, and a friend of mine slipped it to me. I thought I was going to die. They took me to the hospital and resuscitated me for 4 hours. At that point, I thought I was on Mars and Kevin Hart and I were drinking whiskey and watching Friends. Cocaine. Gave me the worst headache of my life. And it didn't feel that good. It was kind of an empty feeling. Heroin. Had a heroin latex pill once in high school and I have been chasing it since. It's too good, too powerful. I've tried basically everything else. Got addicted to crack for years, didn't care for meth. I've done all of them, the only drug that I struggled to quit was heroin. Don't do heroin folks, it's bad. There's not a great way to quit, it's just suffering when you do. Augmentin. Unless a pharmacy had a mix-up. Taking that antibiotic was like taking Super Ultra Mega Colon Blow Arcade Remix Hyper Turbo X Alpha Championship Edition. It was a nearly instantaneous fire hose from hell, and I had to take that every 8 hours for 7 days. Ketamine. I don't like most drugs that take away my feeling of control, but K was almost like sleep paralysis. Completely aware of everything but can't fucking make myself move. I also don't do anything opioid related or cocaine because of addiction issues. But K I just fucking hate it. Would you believe me if I said, cigarettes? I can't smoke cigarettes at all, and every time I do, I get a very bad high and nausea which makes me immobile for 80 at least 2 hours. Heroin I didn't really enjoy it, and I've tried all the different ways of using it, it's just not for me. Cocaine, I didn't really enjoy it did not live up to the hype that media has portrayed. Quite the boring drug, tbh.